Okay, I guess we're live. We're going to build up the audience, but I cannot keep you guys waiting. Bernie Sanders won Nevada. That's right, Bernie Sanders won Nevada. There's absolutely no denying it. Right now, he is at 54.1%. The next closest is 17.8%. Bernie Sanders won Nevada. So there's a lot of excitement. We are here at the Bernie Sanders Results Watch Party, the official campaign event. There's music going on. People are having a celebration. There's a bar inside. There's a patio out here. People are really, really loving this, really excited. We actually took a cab ride over on the way, and someone we happened to be riding with to share cab costs was wearing a Bernie Sanders shirt, and the cab driver said, "Oh my gosh, Bernie Sanders." And we've heard that in a lot of different places. People here in Nevada are very excited about Bernie, and by all means, it seems like Bernie is exceeding expectations. We only have 4% reporting in, but still the networks, Vox called it, Fox called it. New York Times has a check mark next to Bernie Sanders' name. Bernie Sanders won Nevada. As I said, there's no way around it. He absolutely won. Again, 54.1% for Bernie. Joe Biden in at 17.8%. Elizabeth Warren in third at 10.1%. Pete Buttigieg at 8.8%. Tom Steyer in at 6.4%. And others at 2.7%. So we have, as I said, a lot of excitement. We were live earlier from a caucus, which was a really interesting experience. I think people were really fascinated by the caucus process. We were probably at one of the largest precincts, which was the Bellagio Hotel and Casino, and a lot of people showed out for there. A lot of early voting support. Bernie Sanders came away with a large win. And by the way, there were a lot of the culinary workers union was present. So all of that kerfuffle that we heard from the media saying, oh, the leaders of the culinary union don't support Bernie's Medicare for All. It seems like individual members of the culinary union and unions in general and people in general do support Bernie Sanders. So we're going to be doing interviews here. People are going to be super pumped up. I want to tell you, you got to smash that like button. The more you smash the like button here on this stream, the more people will see it. So that's the way YouTube's algorithm works, is you got to hit that like button so that more people see it in their stream. It's the thumbs up button that's right underneath this YouTube video. If you're on mobile, close out live chat briefly, then hit the like button and you'll see it right there. Okay, let me grab this guy 1 second because I told him, okay, we're ready for you. All right, my name's Jen. What's your name?
Jen. Hey, I'm Keith. Jen, how are you doing?
Good, and you asked about Jordan earlier. Jordan's feeling a little bit better. He's still a little bit under the weather.
Okay. I'm a big Jordan fan. Jordan Sheridan. What's up, buddy? It's Keith Evans Core. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're feeling better. Hope this win should hopefully make you feel better, Jordan. Like, fuck, if it doesn't, then you got some bad shit. And Bernie's gonna cure it anyway with Medicare for All, right?
Well, that's what the vibe seems to be here tonight for sure. So what do you think? Tell me, how does the win here tonight in Nevada make you feel?
Well, I don't know if there's really words that can describe it. I mean, Nina Turner likes to use supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, so I could piggyback on that because I like to use that word too, but it's you can't even describe it because it feels so freaking good, because we've just been dealing with some of the systems that have been in place for so long, ever since 2016, and to just feel, it's not even validated. It's just like, wow, yeah, people are waking up, which that's what I believe the Bernie Sanders campaign is all about anyway, is people waking up to see that there can be a whole other way that can be possible. Not even for just here in America, but for the world. That's, I believe his vision is that.
We're live.
Anyway, yeah. So this feels fucking awesome. Can I say fuck?
You can. We'll get demonetized, but it's okay because our membership's been booming. That reminds me. Join Status Coup as a member. statuscoup.com/join. We are, I believe, let me look at my text from Jordan to see how many members away we are. We're live. We're 24 members away from reaching 1,500 members, which is what we need for Jordan to be able to go to South Carolina. So back to you. What is the most important?
That was one of those fucking ads that you see that are like really annoying when you're watching. It's like right in the middle of the fucking juice. And you're gonna.
I'm like, but by the way,
you gotta either do the ads before or do them after, man. No, I'm just.
I know. I can't help myself.
Okay, it's fine. It's cool. All right.
It was a perfect segue. Okay.
Oh.
Which of Bernie's policies are most important to you personally?
Wait, what was that?
Which of his policies are most important to you personally?
Which one?
Yeah, pick one. Pick one.
I mean, Dudas. I could go down the whole list. I mean, look, I think it'll become. I mean, look, you got to get the money out of politics. I mean, that within itself takes care of pretty much 90-some% of it, if not almost all of it, because the way our government is in bed with politicians and vice versa. I mean, with the corporations, that they're putting corporate profits ahead of humanity and the planet, is messing up the whole thing. So his vision to get all that out there, federally funded elections where you just put a certain amount of money in, let the best person win. You do it for freaking 6 months instead of 2 years, where you're constantly spending billions and billions and billions, sometimes trillions if you add it all up, on stuff that could go to helping make this world a better place for everybody. So yeah, if you get the money out of politics, I think that helps all the other ones with the industrialized military complex, with the pharmaceutical, the health insurance, big agriculture, you name it. So I know they're taking this.
I don't know if you've had a chance to watch corporate media tonight, but they have been melting down. Chris Matthews in particular was saying that it would be better to have 4 years of Trump than to have Bernie Sanders as president. What do you have to say about these corporate media? Let's call them fools.
I think I said if I could say it before, I'm going to tell Chris Matthews, go fuck yourself. You are being out of your freaking mind, dude. All right. Yeah, that's what I would say to him. Him and the other all establishment people that are doing. They're all in this small little elitist club that they think they know everything better than everybody else. They're using the platform of the billions of dollars that's being able to spread their stupid fucking erroneous message, and they're disconnected from reality. There's something about money and power that disconnects people. It's a psychosis, and they're in this private little club, like George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it, and that's what they're doing, and they're Jedi mind fucking everybody. So the mainstream media, of course, they're having a meltdown because that's what they've been propagating now since 2016 on some level, and today was a really cool fucking thing for people who support Bernie Sanders and the vision that he has to have a better country and a better planet, that I think is just really cool. So yeah, I hope they keep melting down.
Bernie Sanders today had a really good turnout among black voters and people of color, Latino voters in particular. So obviously that matters a lot for South Carolina. What do you think his chances are there and going forward in the race?
Well, I mean, look, I personally believe that Bernie's policies really do help our disenfranchised and marginalized communities. That they need something to the degree that of how much they've been fucked again by the same systems that are in there, man. They're still a part of it, and if you got a toe, a foot, or your whole fucking body into the fucking cookie jar of the systems, then of course you're gonna say Bernie's shit's too crazy, he's too old, he's too socialist, too communist, he's too much, whatever the fuck they want to make up in the day. But at the end of the day, he's fucking helping everybody. Like even if you don't like Bernie Sanders, he's still helping you. The only people that are gonna be a little fucking is the top, I'll say 20%, because the top 20% you're still doing really well, and if you're not at the 1%, you're crawling up the fucking ladder to do it, and you're doing whatever the fuck you can to get up that power structure, and again, they're doing it and those are the people who, again, are helping Jedi mindfuck. So, yes, they're still going to be okay. They're just not going to have an extra car, a vacation home, and a couple zeros, at the end of their financial statement. But at the end of the day, they're still going to be okay. So, yeah, it's Chris Matthews thing like that he'd rather have Trump. Of course they would. The Democratic Party would like to have fucking Trump more than Bernie Sanders. You know why? Because Bernie's policies, he truncates the money flow. The Wall Street, all the things that are so incestuous of how our system works, they're going to lose. Hey, it's going to be different, probably 10, 15, maybe 20 even, but at the end of the day, they're still going to be okay too. So again, you're going to have the system in place who are part of that money that's going to be, which includes the Democratic Party. They're just going to be like, fuck Bernie, he did it. But today, it feels good.
Any last thoughts you want to leave us with? Last thoughts.
I've been saying a lot. You still want to listen to more?
It's good.
What do I want to say, man?
What about people who feel discouraged by corporate media?
Oh, they should be. They should be discouraged by them. They're a bunch of fucks. Yeah, man. They're just like, they're part, look it, they're the mouthpiece of the fucking establishment within the government, within the corporation that are doing the just Jedi mind fucking. Yeah, fuck them all. Yeah, dudes, fuck them all. Because they're fucking up this planet. If we as humanity do not fucking take back our power from these fucks, we're gonna be fucked. Like, that's the thing. Like I don't think Bernie is like this white savior. No, he's just the guy, the soul that sees the vision of what can be. And if any of these other so-called, what I just said, establishment elites, and if we don't remove them, hopefully very peacefully, because I'm a pretty tree-hugging, pot-smoking snowflake, proud owner of it too, man. Yeah, I'm a proud snowflake. But anyway, if they don't do it, we're gonna be fucked, and that's why Bernie needs to win. You know, so go Bernie. Go Bernie. Oh, I gotta go do some chants. Lovely talking.
Thank you so much. It was good stuff. Thank you.
Right?
Very nice stuff. Thank you. As you can see, there's a lot of enthusiasm here tonight, and people are just so pumped up that Bernie won Nevada. In case you're coming into this late, we were actually here at the Bernie Sanders results party in Las Vegas, Nevada. People are just so excited. The beer is flowing. People cannot get enough of this. They're chanting Bernie, Bernie, Bernie in the background. By the way, we are only 22 members away from reaching 1,500 members, which is absolutely incredible. Jordan looked at the count earlier and told me that we have gained 90 members today. I cannot believe it. It is so incredible. That just goes to show you the level of support that people have, that you guys have for independent media, real independent media that brings the microphone back to the people, gives people a voice in our country, in our democracy, the real issues that are impacting you. That is what Status Coup is all about. So please support us. As low as $5 a month, statuscoup.com/join. We really, really want to get Jordan to South Carolina to cover the primaries. You know, the corporate media is not going to do the job, so we need to be on the ground. statuscoup.com/join, get the party rolling. As I said, 90 new members today. That is absolutely stunning. Let's get to 100 new members today. Let's get to 150 new members today. Let's do this. This is so exciting. I'm going to keep grabbing people to come on as they walk by us. And oh my goodness, over 100 now. I don't know what that means, Jordan, if you can write us here. So James Carville, I want to talk a little bit about, and so if I'm looking at my phone, it's because Jordan's texting me breaking news and things like that. So James Carville on MSNBC basically called on media to interfere in the election and tell voters Bernie is too much of a risk. James Carville, I am so sorry that, who was it that you were supporting? It was Bennett or someone like that. Don't quote me on that, but I believe Carville was supporting Bennett. I'm sorry that you don't understand the will of the people. We're live.
These damn live guys. They're fucking up your
Well, that guy was security, so I probably shouldn't have put my hand out. I made a mistake. That's okay.
You in the middle of something? Do you want me to keep talking like I was talking before? But I'll stop.
Sure. I mean, if you have something important to say, absolutely. I was just talking about James Carville basically called on the media to interfere in the election.
Okay, was this side? Is this side okay? What's the better side? Which side is better? This one? Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I love my man. Thank you, buddy. Remember how I told Chris Matthews he could go fuck himself? James Carville should do that 2 or 3, 4 extra more times than that. You are a political fucking hack, dude. You're fucking killing this planet by whatever psychosis you have in your brain, and they're using the billions of dollars that I said earlier through the airwaves to Jedi mind fuck people. Please, be quiet. Go out into the woods with Hillary Clinton and you and all these other people. Yeah, no, it's ugly what it's doing. Joey Reid, she can go too. Yeah, you can go too, Joey. I want to have a little island, the island that fucking Dr. J. What the fuck is up with that? How does that guy still have a job at MSNBC? Huh? Dr. Jason, what the fuck are you on, man? Dude, your skin is not your kin, because I don't know what fucking kin you belong to, but it's this fucking elitist kin. That's what I was talking about earlier, if you roll back when I was talking about before, is this small group of people who have all these pedigrees, they went to this school, it creates a psychosis when you have that much money, power, and access to the things that the bottom 80 do not. So, yeah, Dr. Jason, shame on you. Shame on you. All right, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
If you can grab people and send them over to me, that'd be so nice.
To you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, man. Awesome.
And this side. So everyone get inside if you want to see Bernie announce his victory here in Nevada.
Oh my God, can we travel? Go in, Bernie's here.
If you can, don't push anybody over. Everybody be safe.
Okay, I don't know what's going on exactly.
They want to say hi to you. Bernie! They want to say hi to you. Wait. They want to say hi to you.
Who does?
The combo couch. Just say
The
hi.
combo couch. The combo couch.
Okay, we're traveling, we're figuring this out.
So, combo couch, right on.
Oops, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, we're just talking to the... That's right, that's got talking to George. I said I didn't say my source, I didn't give my source. But...
Okay, we're traveling. One second. There's a big crowd here.
You see the final is based on a different data set that's only a partial one, is very small sample.
Still traveling, not 100% sure what's going on. Bernie's going to be announcing his victory, but I don't know that we can.
You happy? Yeah. Put a smile on your face.
Extremely. I just couldn't figure out what a fire hazard this is. That explains my facial expression and not a giant smile. Like, is this wise? Can I go in there? Will I die?
Bernie has announced his victory here in Nevada. We're trying to get a shot here.
So don't tell him that we're going to beat him here in Texas. And now I'm delighted to bring you some pretty good news.
Okay, Bernie's in Texas right now.
All of you know we won the popular vote in Iowa. We won the New Hampshire primary. And according to 3 networks in the AP, we have now won the Nevada.
The energy is palpable in here. People are very, very excited.
For their support. In Nevada, we have just put together a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition, which is going to not only win in Nevada, it's going to sweep this country. In New Hampshire and in Iowa, what we showed is that our volunteers are prepared to knock on that no campaign has a grassroots movement like we do. In Nevada, I want to thank our rank and file union members. I want to thank Make the Road. All of the grassroots organizations that helped us win there. We are going to win here in Texas. We are going to win across the country because the American people are sick and tired of a president who lies all of the time. They are sick and tired of a corrupt administration. They are sick and tired of a president who is undermining American democracy. who thinks he is above the law and who apparently has never read the Constitution in his The American people are sick and tired of a government which is based on greed, corruption, and lies. They want an administration which is based on the principles of justice. Economic justice, social justice, racial justice, and environmental justice. Now Trump and his friends think they are going to win this election. They think they're going to win this election by dividing our people up based on the color of their skin, or where they were born, or their religion, or their sexual orientation. We are going to win because we are doing exactly the opposite. We're bringing our people together. Black and white and Latino. Gay and straight. We are bringing our people together around an agenda that works for the working people of this country. All over this country, workers are sick and tired of earning starvation wages. You can't make it on $9 an hour, or $11 an hour, or $12 an hour. We are going to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. We are going to provide equal pay for equal work for women. We are going to make it easier for workers to join unions. We're going to create millions of good-paying union jobs by rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and building the 10 million units of low-income and affordable housing this country desperately. We're going to win this election because we believe in education. We are going to have high-quality, affordable, universal child care. We are going to triple funding for low-income Title I schools. And we need great teachers in this country. We need more Latino teachers. We need more African American teachers. And because we know the vitally important work that teachers do, we're going to fight to make sure that no teacher in America earns less.
Sorry.
And because we believe in education, we believe that all of our people, regardless of their income, are entitled to a higher education. And that is why we're going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. we're going to cancel all student debt in this country. By imposing a modest tax on Wall Street speculation. 12 years ago, we bailed out the crooks on Wall Street. Now it's their turn to help. And together, we are going to end the international embarrassment of the United States of America, our great country, being the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care. Health care is a human right. We are going to end the absurd situation in which we now are spending twice as much per person on health care as the people of any other country, yet 87 million of us are uninsured or underinsured. 30,000 die each year, and 500,000 people go bankrupt because of medically related death. In America, you should not go bankrupt because you're struggling with cancer.
Excuse me, folks.
The function of a rational and humane healthcare system is to guarantee healthcare the law, not make $100 billion in profits for the drug companies and the insurance companies. And we are going to take on the greed and corruption of the pharmaceutical industry.
All right, guys, we're going to walk back here so that we don't get trampled by the crowd.
The American people will not pay, in some cases, 10 times more for the same prescription drugs sold in Mexico, Canada, or in Europe.
Most people went back inside to actually watch Bernie's speech, but they are playing it out here as well. So just bear with us while we resettle ourselves.
Sad state of affairs.
1 second while he adjusts the camera and all that.
Who believes that climate change is a hoax. Well, the scientific community has a slight disagreement with Mr. Trump.
I stutter, by the way, so if I stutter,
No worries at all. No, it's totally fine.
Change is an existential threat to this planet. And our administration.
By the way, guys, we are 21 members away from 1,500 members. That's absolutely incredible. We've had only over 100 new members just today. Join us. statuscoup.com/join. Help Jordan get to South Carolina in a very short amount of time. You know, we don't have much longer to raise this membership, so we need to do it tonight so that we can send Jordan there. Please, statuscoup.com/join, as low as $5 a month. All right, Bernie's still speaking, but we're going to start interviewing people because we didn't want to get trampled in there. 1 second here. Okay. Very good. We good? All right. My name is Jen. What's your name?
My name is Tassin Khan.
It's so nice to meet you. So how do you feel about Bernie's win tonight here in Nevada?
I feel completely ecstatic, because just a month ago, Bernie Sanders was number 2 in the state. And then, over the last 2 weeks, it's just been, he just blew up, and it's just due to our incredible organization, on the ground in the state.
So I take it you are a volunteer.
I was actually a precinct captain today at my location.
Okay, which location were you at? How did it go?
I was at precinct 3844, and literally everything went smoothly. It seemed that the state trained up our precinct chair pretty well, so everything ran pretty smoothly. Math was on point, and and there was no issues. It just ran super smoothly. Yeah, that's my experience.
That's stunning and good to hear, really good to hear, especially after what we saw out of Iowa, of course. I don't know if you've had the chance to watch corporate media this afternoon, or this, running into this evening.
Like a few clips from, what's his name? Bald man, Carville, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't really happy with any of their analysis, none of them.
A lot of people are saying MSNBC is basically having a meltdown. Chris Matthews said it would be better to have 4 more years of Trump than it would be to have a Bernie Sanders as the president. What do you have to say about these corporate journalists, in air quotes?
I don't think that they're journalists. They're just talking heads on a screen just to say whatever their overlords want them to say. They're being paid by oligarchs just like Bloomberg.
Absolutely. And if I look at my phone, it's because I'm looking at facts and figures and my coworkers sending me things. So what do you think about Elizabeth Warren? So she's actually coming in, she came in 3rd place in Iowa, 4th place in New Hampshire. She's currently 4th place in Nevada. Should Elizabeth Warren, in your opinion, drop out and support Bernie Sanders or throw her weight and her voters to Bernie Sanders?
I think at this point, especially considering her coming in at 3rd, you said, right? In this state, I think 4th. I think it's time for her to drop out. However, at my precinct, during the first alignment, Warren was not viable at all. It seemed that during the final alignment, that's when all the Pete and all of the Amy Klobuchar people, they got together and made her actually viable. So in my precinct, Bernie got 6 delegates out of 10, Biden got 2, and Warren got 2.
Very interesting. So what do you think the next steps are? Bernie's won tonight, but next is South Carolina. What does Bernie need to do? What do his supporters need to do?
I think what we need to do is just keep just dig into the facts. Like Bernie has been there, especially in a state like South Carolina with a really big black population. We just need to hammer into their onto the ground that yes, Bernie Sanders has been there from the beginning, since he was 18 or whatever, on the ground fighting for everybody like us.
Absolutely. So what do you think, we're independent media, what do you think that is needed? I'm going to pivot to what we do for just a second. So the difference between corporate media and independent media, what do you think everyone needs to do when it comes to who they watch, who they support?
I just feel like when it comes to, who we watch, who we support, we need to understand, who we're getting paid by. Like I know with your organization, you guys make money from your viewers, so you guys represent your viewers. MSNBC, of course, a majority of their viewers are extremely progressive, extremely liberal, but when it comes down to it, they're not talking about those issues because their interest and they're being and their money is coming from gigantic corporations that are only serving their own self-interest.
Very good. I couldn't say it better myself. I just got more news in that Pete Buttigieg just spoke and had the audacity to say that Bernie doesn't have the support of the majority of the Democratic Party. What do you have to say about that?
That's actually crazy because today I just saw a poll that was released. It showed that Bernie Sanders within the party is actually above 70%. So I don't buy what they're pushing at all.
And also, Pete Buttigieg is only at 2% among black voters. He's the one who doesn't have support among people of color. And I think Pete Buttigieg has had to retract several times where he said, "Oh, I have black support. I have diverse support." What do you say to someone like Pete, who in fact manufactures his support?
I think just tonight shows that he doesn't have that coalition that he claims to have. And week after week, like you said, there's people that he claims that are backing him and they're not. So it's like just in your face week after week that Pete Buttigieg just doesn't have that support. And tonight is an obvious example of that.
Very good. Any last words you want to leave us with? Any thoughts, any excitements or feelings?
We got this. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming on. That was wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, of course. We love selfies.
What the American people want, and that is end the sale and distribution of assault weapons in this country.
Senator Bernie Sanders is the winner of the Nevada Democratic presidential.
Wonderful. So nice to meet you. Really nice viewers. We have such amazing viewers. You guys are all awesome. Even if you're not here with us today, we love you. We appreciate you. We are so close. We are just 21 members away from 1,500 members. Colin. Oh my God. Come here. Hold on. It's Colin freaking Tooley, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, come on in a second too after Colin. Okay, Colin. How do you feel?
Pretty good. It was. I didn't realize the results would, because they had the whole thing of results might be late and stuff like that. So I was just doing my thing, and I pulled out my phone and I was like, "Oh shoot!" And he won by quite a margin. So I got all excited and just been like stewing ever since, because it was a long ride to get here and stuff. So.
Well, I'm sure. Did you see what the corporate media is saying? Like Chris Matthews saying we'd be better off having 4 more years of Trump than having Bernie. Chris Matthews on MSNBC. They have been melting down over there.
Really, I did not see any of this. I keep seeing the comments about the Russia stuff, but that's insane. That feels like it'd be bad for them. That feels like it'll help Bernie more than anything, and they probably don't realize that, especially after like how much we saw how much money they were pouring into Nevada for anti-Bernie stuff, and it looks like it helped him almost in a sense based on some of the stuff I had seen. So. I don't think they understand at all what's going on.
I have to agree with you. And remember that clip of I think that was in New Hampshire where MSNBC or someone, don't quote me on this, asked a voter, who are you going to vote for? And they said Bernie Sanders. And they asked why. And the person was like, because you guys keep lying about him. And it was transparent. And the guy's like, okay, thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, no, it's exactly that. And it's because people inherently, a lot of people inherently like sort of, and the underdog is one thing, but also a lot of people are coming alive of like anyone who's under a certain age realizes that the mainstream media is very corporate, and whatever they support, you probably shouldn't support. So the more that they go against Bernie, the more people are like, oh, okay, this is a guy that's actually going to do something. And so you would have thought they would have caught on to that a while ago, but I guess not yet.
I agree. And Colin, I have news for you. Did you know that we are just 21 members away from 1,500 members?
Are we really?
So go make a new member graphic. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the funny thing, because I flew out here yesterday, so I haven't been able to do member graphics. So last time I saw we were in the 300s. So that's awesome. So
got over 100 new members just today. It's so incredible.
That's awesome. And that shows... that's just an extension of what I said, of people are realizing what's going on, that the mainstream media isn't what's to go for, and that you need alternative media. And since we're one of the few, if not only ones that are actually out in the field, it makes sense. That's great to see that people are coming on to that finally.
So what should people do? Go to where? statuscoup.com/join.
Yeah, become a member, and I'm sure you guys have been posting cool behind the scenes stuff, but also just like being able to support something, especially we're almost past our infancy now at this point, but being able to be a part of not only the revolution that Bernie's doing, but also a media revolution as well. You can get 2 birds with 1 stone, and come election time, we can start. Once Bernie's elected, he'll be able to do things, and then Status Quo will be able to tackle a lot of issues as well once the primaries and all that are over. Stuff like exposing in Flint and all the other stores we've been doing. So it's going to be great, I think.
Yeah. So for people who aren't familiar, tell people what you do for Status Quo.
I'm the editor, and I also do the graphics, for better or worse. And so
we love for the better, for sure.
I've been with you guys the whole time. And,
no, don't worry. Yeah, come on live. Yeah, we're live. We're totally live. Well, we'll finish saying what you're saying, and then we'll grab you, okay?
Oh, yeah, just been with the whole time, and a little bit predating that as well, and love what you guys have been doing, and it's been great seeing it grow from the beginning, so I'm glad to continue going forward now.
We'll pull you back over in a second too, but the bottom line here is go to statuscoup.com/join. You'll be partially supporting Colin, who is just one of my favorite people, literally one of my favorite people on the planet. He's the nicest guy in the world, such a good guy. Okay, we'll pull you back over in a second. Lauren, come on. It's so nice to meet you.
I know. I love you guys.
Lauren Steiner here. I'm sure you guys recognize her. Tell people where they can find you. We'll do this at the end too.
Okay, so you can find me on my Facebook page, lauren.steiner.la, on Twitter at Lauren_Steiner, on YouTube at Lauren from LA,
and my show is The Robust Opposition, and I'm going to tell you something you are going to so appreciate. 2 nights ago, I was escorted out of a Pete Buttigieg fundraiser in West Hollywood, California, where I was dressed up extremely nicely, and I was interviewing guests as to why they were supporting Pete. And I was interviewing them politely, I was interviewing them professionally, but they are so damn paranoid that they felt the need to come over to me after my second interview and tell me, I'm sorry, and of course they're so nice the way they kick you out. I'm sorry, but this event is closed to the press. We only have one print pool reporter here, and we're very happy to escort you back to your car. And I'm like, excuse me, but I have the First Amendment right to be here, and you're not going to be escorting me anywhere. I don't have to leave the hotel. If I want to have a drink at the bar, if I want to have dinner at the restaurant, I'm going to do that. And then I moved over to the head of the stairs, out of their way, and they followed me over there, and they said, you're still in our area. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, you guys really do not have a good reputation with independent media. And then I referenced what they did to you, what they did to Jordan. I said, this is really looking bad, you know? And I was there, to be honest to you viewers, I'm also an activist and organizer, and the night before I was at the Bernie's Coffee Shop, the grand reopening of the Bernie's Coffee Shop in LA, to say, who wants to go to the Buttigieg fundraiser with me and hand out flyers about his record? Because I did something similar at a Kamala Harris fundraiser in Beverly Hills in February of last year, and it worked like a charm. We were dressed up, we didn't have megaphones, we didn't have Bernie signs, we were just handing out fact sheets about Kamala Harris's record. They thought we were part of the greeting committee, and they took it. Now, at some point, someone from her campaign actually looked at this piece of paper, and that's when they started escorting people from their Teslas directly to the front door. And that's when we took out the megaphone and the signs, and we started reading off to everybody there. So I was hoping to do that at the Buttigieg fundraiser, but then I found out that Black Lives Matter and Queers Against Pete were going to be doing that. So I said, okay, I'm not going to organize a fundraiser. I'm just going to go as me, independent journalist, interview people, and then cover their protest. And they had the police called. They had people like guarding the entrance. They told me, this is the line that separates private property from the public sidewalk. You cannot step over that line. It was really outrageous.
I am just, I'm not shocked, but I feel like I should have the right to be shocked because that's absolutely absurd behavior from a campaign. I'm sure you know that not only did they rip the press credential right off of Jamal, but they also kicked us off of their press list just because Jordan reported critically on Pete Buttigieg after reporting in South Bend. It's absurd behavior.
Yeah. So I came here today after organizing 8 burners from Los Angeles to take the training to be a precinct chair. And I took it myself, not to be a precinct chair, but to be able to report on it, because I wanted to make sure it was the Bernie people that were counting the votes. I know that in Nevada they had precinct captains, precinct ambassadors, but I wanted people to be the ones with the tool and the caucus reporting sheet and the caucus math poster and the one phoning in the results. And Bernie just cleaned up, and I couldn't be happier. And I do feel that the process was honest. I have to credit the Nevada Democratic Party for, in a short amount of time, getting rid of that shadow app and putting together their own tool, which was essentially a Google form combined with a Google spreadsheet. And from what I could tell, it worked out really well. And in the precincts that I monitored, Bernie cleaned up.
I want to thank our volunteers.
I
want to thank
I agree. It went a lot more smoothly than I ever expected. That's for sure.
Is an historic victory because we won it in one of the most diverse states in the country. We put together a coalition that is going to win all over America. Thank you guys very, very much for all the hard work you've done. Now tonight shows that what we are trying to do is the approach that will defeat Donald Trump. We will defeat Trump because the energy and the excitement and the grassroots activism of our movement, the fact that in Nevada and all over this country, people are knocking on doors, making the phone calls, talking to their neighbors, getting young people and working class people involved in the political process. That is the way we bring about the largest voter turnout in the history of this country. That is the way we defeat Trump. Now, I don't have to tell any of you, Trump is attempting to win re-election by dividing our people up, by the color of their skin, by where they were born, by their religion, by their sexual orientation. That is how he thinks he's going to win. But you and I know he is dead wrong. We are going to win because we're bringing our people together into a multiracial, multi-generational campaign that will involve working people in the political process in a way we have never seen before. So what is going on really is extraordinary. You know, I know. Wall Street and the insurance companies and the drug companies and the fossil fuel industry and the corporate media and the military industrial complex and the prison industrial complex, they are getting nervous. And they're getting nervous because they are seeing working people all over this country stand up and fight for justice. And when people fight for justice by the millions, all the money in the world cannot stop us. So I think we are on a road to victory, and I think what happened today in Nevada is extraordinary. It did not happen by accident. It happened by the hard work of our great staff. Sarah, thank you very much for all you've done. Let me thank our entire crew, and let me thank the many, many hundreds, if not thousands, of volunteers who work for us all across the state. So tonight, we win in Nevada. It's on to South Carolina. It's on to California. Let's keep going together. Let's win the nomination. Let's defeat Trump. Let us transform this country. Thank you all very, very much.
Bernie Sanders just spoke directly to the people of Nevada. They just played that here. That's what you were listening to.
I'm going to continue to do my my interview.
Of course.
With Jenn.
Hi.
From Status Coup. And
hi, guys.
We are double live streaming now on Status Coup.
Love that.
Opposition. So
love it.
What else did you want to ask me?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to, oh gosh, we're getting jostled from all sides here. If you've gotten a chance to watch any of the corporate media, but Chris Matthews actually...
Oh my God, tell me what he said.
So he said that we might be better off with 4 more years of Trump than President Bernie Sanders.
But didn't he also say something that was very similar to what he said about if Bernie gets elected, we're going to see executions in Central Park? He said some sort of statement that was similar in its ridiculousness.
Tonight, I don't know. Wow. Oh my gosh, if he did.
Yeah, so apparently, yeah. Well, here's my thing, Jenn. I really feel that our biggest problem is Bloomberg at this point. I feel that the other candidates know that they cannot defeat Bernie. I don't know if you know this, but in history, there's never been a person that didn't win the top 3 races, the first 3 races that did not win the presidency. And I feel like what's happening now is Bloomberg is buying the election. He's paying off superdelegates. I mean, we know that he's buying influencers. He's buying all the airtime. Down ballot candidates can't even get airtime. Down ballot candidates can't even get staffers. He spent $2.3 billion buying off nonprofit organizations, black politicians, including Bobby Rush, who was the co-founder of the Black Panthers, for God's sake. You know, I mean, this guy is really proving that you can buy people, and my real concern is the other candidates not dropping out so that they can bring delegates to the convention. And have a, well, you know what, I already said this in my stream, so I'm gonna stop me.
Good for us.
Just focus on her, because I can't do two things. Guys, I'll be back. Okay.
For sure, absolutely. Okay, so another thing that I want to ask you, obviously Elizabeth Warren is coming in fourth here. She came in third in Iowa, fourth in New Hampshire.
And she's losing by 1 point in the latest Massachusetts poll to Bernie in her own state.
So should she drop out? Do you think she will? Will she want a brokered convention? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are Elizabeth Warren is a snake, and I hate to be like a typical Bernie bro, you know, that they're accusing us of being, even though most of us are women and most of us are non-white. I will say that Elizabeth Warren was someone that I really admired. I was actually part of the Draft Elizabeth movement in 2012 to get her to run for Senate. I offered her campaign. I had a meeting with her finance director to host a fundraiser for her at my own home, but she found someone who was obviously better for her, someone who is Heather Thomas, who was an actress in The Dukes of Hazzard, and her husband is a big agent at CAA. So I actually went to that fundraiser, had my picture taken with her, and was very impressed with her. And I was part of Occupy, and I remember talking to Matt Taibbi in the middle of Occupy about how great Elizabeth Warren was, and do you think she's really going to go after the banks? And I had stars in my eyes at one point about Elizabeth Warren, but the way she's conducted herself in this campaign, and I was one of the last people to defect from her. A lot of Bernie people were calling me a Warren stan. I mean, you know how they can be. They're very passionate. And I was like, you know, no, I like Elizabeth Warren. I think Bernie would be a better president because he has a movement behind him. She doesn't have a movement. She's never even been in a movement. She doesn't know from movements, as we say, you know, Jewish people, she doesn't know from movements. And I love Bernie because I'm a New York Jew myself, okay, so I appreciate his sense of humor and his inflection. But when she lost me was when she turned against Medicare for all, because I was part of that fight for the public option. I remember reading a great blog called Fire Dog Lake during Obamacare when they were trying to get the public option in there. And at that point, I was a fan of the public option. And I saw how Obama had to bargain it away to get the support of the insurance companies and the hospital corporations for the ACA. But now, as I've become more of a single-payer advocate, and actually I did fight for single payer in 2004, the first time it was in California, and did some public speaking on it. As I become more of a single payer advocate and I've done more shows on it myself, I've come to learn that the public option is really bad because all the sickest people would go into it and it would collapse under its own weight and it would be unsustainable. And then they'd be able to say, look at socialized medicine, it's bad, and it would set back Medicare for all probably forever. So anybody who knows anything about Medicare for all knows that it has to be everybody in and nobody out. So people like, you know, Pete Buttigieg, Medicare for all, who want it, or anybody else who's talking about a public option really is being disingenuous. They really don't care about health care as a right and not a privilege if that's what they're promoting. So that was the first thing that turned me against her. The second thing was, of course, when she lied and said Bernie told her in a private meeting that he didn't think a woman could be president. And everybody knows that that is just completely false. Anyone who knows Bernie, anyone who's seen those videos, him talking to school children in the 90s about this, and also little known reporting by Shane Goldmacher, or actually Sean Sullivan in the Washington Post, who I argued with. I argued with him and Shane at the Bernie fundraiser in San Francisco because they were sitting in the press area, not even interviewing people. And I said, you know, I'd like to talk to you about your coverage of Bernie Sanders. And they didn't appreciate what I had to say. But anyway, Sean Sullivan, to his credit, did write an article that didn't get any amplification, which said that there were 4 people in that who told her about that meeting. She told about that meeting, and 2 of them confirmed Bernie's view of the story. So now, of course, the mainstream media runs with that. That debate with Abby Phillips, who asked, you know, Bernie Sanders, and he said he didn't say it. And then she turned around and asked Elizabeth Warren, you know, how did you feel when Bernie told you a woman can be elected president? I'm like, oh my God. You know, and then she walks up to him on the stage, and don't tell me she didn't know that those mics were still hot. She walks up on the stage and she said, you lied about me on national television. And I just thought that was so orchestrated on her behalf. And now she's blasting the Bernie bros. She's blasting, what was she blasting recently that isn't true? Well, I can't remember. But anyway, the problem is she's got Clinton and Obama advisors.
Super PAC. She was saying Bernie had a super PAC and he doesn't, and then she accepted super PACs.
Yeah, I mean, that is so ridiculous. And even the way she figured out those number of years to say 39 years as opposed to 40 years, you know. And Buttigieg, you know, one of the things that I asked Deborah Berger last night, I was covering the rally, and Deborah Berger's the president of National Nurses United. I said, how did you feel when Pete Buttigieg called you a dark money group? In other words, nurses, Center for Popular Democracy, which is made up of low-income people of color, the Sunrise Kids, the nerve of him, and even her by implication, to call them dark money groups. You know? And then, of course, going back on her vow not to take money for a super PAC during the primary, even though we all know she said she was going to do it in the general. So she's just, I use this phrase, canceled, dead to me. You know, I'm sorry, but whatever legacy she had in my heart and the heart of a lot of other, you know, progressives who appreciated her is gone.
Well, and I've heard that from a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters, and it's a sentiment that carries over. That disappointment from 2016 of her endorsing Hillary in the end, of her not going to Standing Rock, things like that, kind of put a light bulb in people's head, like, I wonder if she's who she purports to be. And now all the things you describe have a lot of people in your camp, I think.
And not only that, if you look at Iowa and you look at today, the alignments, not that many people from Warren realigned to Bernie. And even Yang, he was quoted in Bloomberg as saying he figured his supporters would go to Bernie. Well, that wasn't the case, because I looked at the math. He had 4,400 voters, and Buttigieg actually gained, after the realignment, 3,300. Bernie only gained about 1,200, and Warren gained 1,400. So most of Yang's voters apparently went to Buttigieg. So I don't know. And I saw people in my own precinct that did not realign. Biden people did not realign. The Steyer person did not realign. I actually like Steyer. I was starting to like him because I do think what he says on the debate stage is correct. I know how much he's done to fight climate change. I appreciate that he was trying to get Trump impeached. But when he started advertising against Bernie, that killed it for me with him. So there's nobody. And Bloomberg to me is as bad as Trump. And if he buys the election in a brokered convention, I think there's going to be riots in the streets. It's going to make the Chicago 1968 Democratic Convention look like a garden party.
I agree. I want to kind of pivot, because we're both in independent media. Why is independent media so important, especially in today's political climate?
Well, it keeps you sane. I mean, because if you watch the mainstream corporate media, who I call stenographers for the corporate state, you're going to believe all that bullshit. I mean, I think even Bernie sometimes believes too much of what he hears in the mainstream media, like right now the latest attack is for the intelligence agencies to tell Bernie that Russia is helping in his campaign. This is the first step towards delegitimizing his election. If he should win the nomination, they have already planted the seed that it's not legitimate, it's got to be Russia. And somebody even repeated that today. And I'm just sick about it. I'm sick about it, and I feel so badly for Bernie because he's such a decent man. I mean, when he says, my friend Elizabeth, or my friend Joe, or my friend Harry Reid, all these people who are stabbing him in the back, I think he really has thought of them as his friends. And it hurts my heart to see them, you know, betray him in the way that they have.
I completely agree. Tell us again, where can people find you and all of your great work?
Okay, so I am on Facebook at lauren.steiner.la, on YouTube at Lauren from LA, and on Twitter at Lauren_Steiner. And I probably shouldn't have to shout because you're using a microphone. I'm just so used to, you know.
I do it too, yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very much, and keep up your great work. I love
thank you.
Jordan.
Same for you, yeah.
And everybody, you should contribute. I gave these guys some money last year before the end of the year, and
incredibly appreciate it.
And I really think everybody, we need to. I don't look for money for my work, but anybody who needs money to can do the kind of work that Jordan and Jenn are doing should contribute whatever they can. It's very important.
Thank you so much. It was absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Listen to her, guys. Join us. We are actually now 17 members away from 1,500 members. That is so incredible. We now have a band playing to my left. That's okay. Everyone's excited. The beer is flowing. It's super exciting that for the people here that Bernie Sanders has won Nevada. We actually. The reason we want to get to 1,500 members is because we want to send Jordan to South Carolina. 17 members away. I know we can do it. We've been live for about an hour, I think. I also need you to please smash the like button, because the more you smash the like button, the more YouTube's algorithm shows this stream in other people's feeds. You can also share it on your Facebook groups, your Reddits, your subreddits, your Twitter, everything. Share the stream, make sure people see it. You gonna come on? All right, now we have Marcus. You're so tall. We have Marcus. You guys all know this guy. How you doing?
I'm good, great. Being a private citizen today, caucused in my precinct. It was
How tall you are?
Yeah, I happen to be a little huge. So yeah, I'm at a loss right now. Like it's still like I was with the Chapo guys inside a second ago, and
Chapo Trap House. In case you guys aren't familiar, I'm sure you all are.
Two of them were freaking crying, like people were inside bugging, like losing their minds. I'm still like, I just don't have words, because like, yeah, you expected a win, dude's leading in the polls, but like for it to be a blowout of epic proportions like this, oh my God. I'm literally at a loss, and I talk a lot for people to know me. Like, I don't shut up. For me to be at a loss is a thing. That's just, oh my God. But I really gotta give it to the Democrats and the Bernie-crats especially, that decided a long time ago, after 2016, after that nonsense happened where the chair that really didn't get thrown got thrown. There were a lot of folks that were Bernie or bust and then decided, hey, we're gonna Dem exit. No, these people said no. Those people said, no, we're not taking this. We're gonna go in and we're gonna do the work, and you wanna tell us to participate and to do the right thing? Okay, we'll take you at your word for it. We took the L this time, but we're gonna come back harder. And those folks did campaign for county positions, campaign for small positions, and tonight's win is proof that these small elections are important in the long run. If folks don't get on these small committees and figure out how things work and make the right connections, and you don't do the behind the scenes heavy lifting of movement work, you don't win. This is how the Tea Party was effective. That's one thing that Tea Party's crazy people but also they were effective. And this is how they were effective. They got in and they got those small positions. Of course, they did it with Koch brother money. And the difference here is, of course, this is a mass movement of people, but this goes to show that when the people really put their work ethic and their bodies where their mouth is, not their money, because we're the precariat. That's the class we are. Not only are we the proletariat, but we're also in precarity, so much so that our economic power is non-existent. The only thing we have is organizing power and the vote. And that's what folks in Nevada used. And I've watched, I want to make sure that I give a special shout out to Amy Villela and her whole family. Like, I had
explain to the audience who that is.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Amy Villela is one of the 4 women that were endorsed by Justice Democrats from the documentary Knocking Down the House. I covered her campaign when Status Coup was still Jordan Chariton Reports. And I watched that campaign work so hard. And then 8% is what she got in the polls. And they didn't stop. When we talk about the campaign being "I will fight for you," her entire family is the example of that. There is not a small meeting that some member of that family's not at in this town. And as far as progressive politics goes, if there's a meeting of 5 people, 3 people, 2 people, some member of that family is there. They are in the paint day and night. They are setting the example for progressives in Nevada, and like, this doesn't happen without theirs and of course the whole host of everyone in unison as far as the progressive movement in Nevada. But I really wanted to like shout Amy Villela out because like the woman has literally traumatized herself over and over and over again, telling the story of Shalyn over and over and over and over again. Like, her child died, and she goes out and tells that story over and over and over and over again. Like just not even thinking about the benefit of that. But let's talk about like what type of toll that takes on her. She got to keep talking about her daughter died because she don't want it to happen anymore. And it's a very simple preventable cause, and 30,000 people die from it every year. 30,000 people die from preventable causes every year. And a woman is out here, and her family, her entire family is out here fighting hardcore day and night to get this stuff to happen. And then we want to turn around and be surprised that folks online are yelling and screaming policy points at you. Do you hear how you sound centrist? You sound childish. These are people who have lost loved ones, who have lost friends, who have lost community members. 30,000 a year from preventable causes because these industries want profits, period. And you want to be surprised that folks are mad making online comments. Like, it's a disgusting level of gaslighting to do that. It is a disgusting level of gaslighting, and you deserve every comment that comes at you after that. I'm sorry, I don't care. You don't get to gaslight people and then be surprised when they come at you foul after the fact. Like, no, you're gaslighting them. So yeah, you're gaslighting them. You don't get to get mad at them when you're gaslighting them. Like, no, you're sitting here lying. Stop lying, and then we can stop correcting you on your lies aggressively. Won't be no problem. As they say on streets, don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
So I think the audience will be interested specifically to know about your experiences caucusing because you are registered to vote here. How was your experience? How do you think the MV Dems did overall?
They said you was happy.
I don't know enough about all the other caucuses. I can't speak for the other ones. I haven't talked to anybody or any of my sources. But as far as my experience at my location, they were really short-handed. really, really shorthanded on volunteers. I had talked to one source that was at some of the trainings, and they had told me that the trainings were wrong. It was listed as one thing and it wasn't, and folks were registered to volunteer for something and they weren't, so it was really disorganized. But other than the short amount of them being shorthanded on volunteers, I didn't see that at my precinct. However, the one thing that did jump out at me at my precinct, and this is very telling, and this goes to the point about this movement that's pushing Bernie Sanders, because I really want us to get away from the Bernie Sanders campaign and focus on the movement, because these people aren't going anywhere. It is the movement behind him that's what matters. So these people, like these campaigns at my precinct, which is in a historically segregated black community, like it's the historic west side of Las Vegas. This is where segregated people live. Like, this was the red line, and before redlining, this was the segregated area where black people had to live because you weren't allowed to live anywhere else or they would kill you. And none of these other candidates had a precinct captain there. The only candidate with a precinct captain was Bernie Sanders. Really? And if you look at that, and it's really, excuse us, we're live. If you look at that side of town, there's a lot of development going on in Las Vegas. There's a lot of building up going on in Las Vegas. But when it comes to the historically black west side, where the money at? Where you at? They don't care about poor people, period.
Absolutely. So I want to take a second. As you understand, it's so important that we update our membership and get more members going. So we are actually 15 members away from reaching 1,500 members. 1,500 is the number that we need to be able to get Jordan to South Carolina to report. That is so incredible, guys. Keep it up. 15 more members need to join. Oh my goodness, it's so good. So please, statuscoup.com/join. You'll get, Jordan and I are actually doing extra phone calls and extra video messages to people who join by tomorrow, so please do. You'll also get behind the scenes video diaries, photos, other videos, monthly member calls, as I already said. So join statuscoup.com/join. Final words.
I want to point out that I'm not here right now if it isn't for this movement. I put out, as a lot of y'all know, I had a huge mental health crisis. I stopped work, stopped everything in life for a period. And I forgot to save money to come back to Caucus. I put up a GoFundMe, and it didn't reach the full goal, but somebody slid in my DMs the day I got landed and said, yo, I got the rest of your money, and sent me a PayPal. Like, this movement really that's what solidarity is. And I recognize, like, yo, I'm privileged. I have a little bit of platform, even if it's not much, to where I can get that, you know what I mean, where I can put that out there and people will see it and give money to that. But also, I'm not the only one that this movement has done that for. There's a lot of people that I saw in Iowa and I met in Iowa that volunteered, literally left jobs to go volunteer and just off of GoFundMe.
It's amazing. It's really incredible. The viewers are amazing. As you said, a lot of people in the progressive movement are just so generous with their time and money. So what are you up to next? Tell the audience.
Right now it's just focusing on my mental health. South Carolina is soon. I am driving distance from there. We'll talk possibly. But yeah, I'm really just excited to see what happens and take care of my mental health, because that's what's got to come first for me.
I agree. It's so important. I suffer from anxiety and depression. It's so important, I think, to be open about it. So kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah, definitely. I really want to thank the Status Coup members, and because this is literally I literally get to be at places like this. Like 4 years ago, I couldn't be a precinct captain for the Sanders campaign because my boss told me, we don't do that here. And that's literally illegal, number one. Number two, I couldn't do anything about it because I was getting ready to leave, and if they fired me, because I was getting ready to leave because they were laying everyone off and they were closing the company down. So like, who I'ma sue if they fire me? Nobody. There's literally no recourse. So to turn around and it's 4 years later and it's a king's ass whooping like this.
Cool. Yeah, so it's starting to rain. I got to figure out with Jamal what we're going to do, but thank you for popping on. I know the audience has missed you so much, so.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Jen, you are awesome. Jordan, I will catch you next time, buddy. Yeah, see you guys later.
Good stuff. Yay! All right, guys. We are just 13 members away from reaching 1,500 members. Again, that is the number that we need to be able to send Jordan to South Carolina for the primary. Bernie Sanders has now won Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada. He's winning. He's won the first 3 races, so we need to be on the ground in South Carolina. The establishment is going to fight harder than ever against Bernie Sanders. They're going to pull out all the stops. They already are. The smears, the propaganda, it's all there. We've heard a lot of the people we've interviewed talking about it. Colin, do you want to hop on again?
Sure. Keep going.
Again, go to statuscoup.com/join and become a member. We are now, oh my gosh, Colin, we are now 11 members away. People are joining all over the place. Keep it coming. 11 members. We've been live for about an hour. We've heard Bernie speak. Bernie called in directly to here in Nevada. So I don't know. How are you feeling? What do you see about happening? You've been able to wander around more than me. What are people doing? What are they up to?
I've just been seeing a lot of people excited, and it's interesting, like, cause I don't get out much, but it's seeing like so many just conversations that are specific about, Bernie and politics and stuff like that. It wasn't like, oh, we won, and now we're gonna talk about like, hey, what are we doing tomorrow type of thing. People are just super energized and excited, so that's just cool to see.
Yeah, the energy is definitely palpable, especially when we were inside listening to Bernie Sanders' speech. Oh my gosh, so welcome new members. Ivy, John, Roman, Stephen, thank you so much for joining. We are now just 10. If I could hold up 10 fingers, I would. We're 10 members away. Please join us. statuscoup.com/join. It's so important. You'll get tons of bonus stuff. Why is it important to join, Colin?
Because you get to actually see what the people are doing and talking about, which is something that no other outlet is doing. No other outlet really goes and talks to the people. They go and try and find who's the big celebrity or famous person, which we'll probably do once in a while, but like that's not the goal. And so you get to see what's happening in people's real lives, which is something that's just completely ignored nowadays in the corporate media, and people don't realize. And once people realize what's going on, they start changing opinions. I've seen this happen like in real time. When I start talking to people and they realize what's going on, it's like, oh, that's what could be, that's what other countries have, that sort of thing like opens people's eyes to see that. So it's just important to have something that no one else is doing or covering.
Colin, you did it. We are now just 9 members away. Again, if I could hold up 9 fingers, I would do it. Colin, thank you for holding it. We have the countdown. Let's do the countdown to 1,500 members. We are so close. 1,500 members. statuscoup.com/join. Keep it coming. Oh my goodness.
What do you? 1,500 means South Carolina, right?
1,500 means South Carolina. Absolutely. Jordan's been sick, as you know. He's starting to feel a little bit better today, but we got to get him down there. Actually, a couple times, Colin, I don't know if you saw, but because you've been traveling, and it so happened that your trip overlapped here in Las Vegas, so it's amazing. It's like a status coup union.
Yeah, I didn't even know
is that a word?
This was here.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I went off on a tangent. I don't know what I was talking about. Colin, you did it again. We are now 7.
That's a big jump.
We are now 7 members away.
I want to get down to one hand. I don't want to hold up both hands.
Get Colin down to one hand. Holding up 2 hands is way too much work. statuscoup.com/join. This is absolutely just amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. Remember, you're going to get a personal phone call or a personal video from Jordan and myself. You're going to get behind-the-scenes video diaries. I put up 2 from this trip. I'm going to put up more behind-the-scenes photos. stories, and we also have some extra plans in the works that we're going to be, Colin, I don't think we've told you this, but we're going to be doing a premium podcast for members as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So get pumped up for that.
I love podcasts. So, I have a long drive to work, so that's my favorite thing to do is listen to podcasts, so I'll listen to that.
Yeah, so it'll be Jordan and I, and we'll have guests on, and we'll do all kinds of fun things. And I think it'll be really, really good, and just for members. So specifically, if you want that, if you want this extra content where we get a little looser but still deliver the news, have a good time on our podcast, definitely join statuscoup.com. Welcome new members, Michael, Zebulon, Laura. We are now 6 members away. Colin is so close to getting down to one hand. Can you imagine how much easier? Colin, you did it again. Colin is now down to one hand. We are 5 members away from 1,500. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do it, and if we get anything we get over that is going to be great, because then that means every little bit you get over that means you guys eat a little bit healthier in South Carolina.
That's true.
McDonald's.
I went to a nice vegan restaurant yesterday that was so nice. Vegas has a lot of really nice and affordable dining options, so I've been impressed.
Yeah, even our hotel had some nice options that I'm at. So I need to try vegan more. That's what I've been trying. I want to get into.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I've got to grab some members or some people to interview. We are so close. Colin, I can't believe this. 4 members away from 1,500 members. Statuscoup.com/join. I just know we can do this. Every time I try to turn around and grab someone to interview, you guys keep joining, which is so great. I honestly am just stunned. I never thought we would get this many members here in Nevada, but I think people are feeling excited because we're the only people who are on the ground reporting in the way that we are. Sure, there's other media here. There's other independent media that I really respect here. But we're live. We've been live for a long time. We'll go live for longer. Oh my gosh. Welcome Audrey, Miguel, Michael, Susan. We are just 3 members away. I cannot. 3 members. I feel like we can do this in the next few minutes. Yeah. Battery. We gotta adjust. Hold on. I feel like we can do this in the next few minutes for sure.
That would be pretty awesome.
Join us, guys. Statuscoup.com/join. Let's see. Maybe we can grab someone. Do you want to come on? Do you want to be interviewed real quick about how you feel about tonight? Real easy stuff. I promise.
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay, sure. Okay, well, hopefully people stop walking by me. Can you actually grab them? Okay. Colin will go grab some people for me. Yeah, it's hard when people stop walking behind you, but it's really fun here. The energy's great. People are really excited. People are, of course, upset about what the corporate media is doing, but what I've found so far is that people take it more like a jovial kind of like, oh, of course they're doing that. Of course the corporate media is being this way. Of course the establishment is freaking out. And they should. They should be freaking out because Bernie Sanders just won the first 3 states in the nation. It's really incredible. And the people here are not worried. There's smiles on people's faces. Let's see. Let me go wander and grab someone. Do you want to come on real quick? Just about your thoughts about tonight?
Just remember there's a lot of bad.
She just told me not to do any more interviews. That's why I wanted to do that.
Oh, well, this one's the best one. I'm Jen. What's your name?
I'm Nora.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Matt.
So how are you guys feeling tonight after Bernie Sanders win here?
Incredibly inspired. I mean, if you talk to anyone here or you talk to people on the ground, the energy is really palpable. It's like they're ready to fight for not only Bernie Sanders winning, but the movement that has brought us all together.
How about you?
Basically the same thing, from the rally last night to today and the caucus sites, it was incredible, and so I'm really excited for the senator.
How do you feel? I don't know if you guys have had any time to watch the corporate media like MSNBC and their absolute meltdown about Bernie Sanders' win here. Chris Matthews in particular said that we should have 4 more years of Trump versus Bernie. Thoughts on this?
I think we need more working class people and working class journalists to have their voices heard on the mainstream media platforms. If you look at how much money a lot of these people make, they don't speak for the working people of America. And yeah, I think that we really need to get more voices up there and have a more honest conversation about the issues affecting everyday Americans.
Absolutely. Your thoughts on the corporate media meltdown?
I just think that journalism should be raw and journalism should be facts, and I don't think that having a meltdown is professional in any way, shape, or form. And I think he should be reporting on the facts that Bernie won with a landslide tonight, and it's incredible for this campaign, this movement. And so I'm really focused on that and not really focused on the media.
We just got an update. So now we have 14% of precincts reporting Bernie Sanders at 41.5%, Joe Biden at 18.7%, Pete Buttigieg at 17.1%, Warren coming in at 11.6%. Now, Elizabeth Warren has not done as well as a lot of people thought she would have a few months ago. Today, she's coming in 4th place. Some people think that maybe she should drop out and kind of toss her supporters to Bernie, if that would even be the case. What are your thoughts on Elizabeth Warren in this race now?
In a just society, Elizabeth Warren is seen as the moderate candidate, and I don't know, the establishment has been against her. I think that a lot of the field has been split. I think her message is very compelling, and I hope that more people can come together and not just attack each other, but actually understand that this diverse movement needs all of us to come together in the end. So yeah, that's is that.
How about you and Elizabeth?
Yeah, and as Matt said, this is the same fight. Warren and Bernie, their campaigns are very, very close in terms of messaging, and I just think that if Warren does end up dropping out, I hope her supporters come to Bernie, because they seem like very genuine people, and they seem like they care about this movement of going forward and rebuilding America. So I'm excited to see that.
I know you guys have done other interviews, so I won't keep you long. Any last thoughts that you want to leave our audience with about tonight, about Bernie, about the movement, about his chances going forward?
I would just say that if you're upset about the state of any aspect of our country right now, whether it's healthcare, criminal justice, gun violence, it's important for everyone to stand up and get active. This goes beyond any one person. This is about a movement that needs all of us to get off our asses and actually get out, knock doors, talk to your neighbor, engage the people who disagree with you, because this is a moral battle. This isn't a battle between different warring parties or individuals. This is a movement about actually disrupting the power structure. So we need people to actually get active and not wait till election day to do that. We need them to stand up now and stand up through election day, not only to the ballot box, but actually organize past that.
And as a lot of my colleagues say, this is not a moment, this is a movement. And so even after the senator gets elected, or even if the senator doesn't get elected, we still have to work on the ground and mobilize and organize, for a Green New Deal, for affordable health care, for a living wage. So.
Thank you guys so much for your time. Absolutely good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you for being out here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Really, really lovely, lovely people. Okay. Oh my gosh. We have just passed 1,500 members. Where did Colin go? We reached 1,500.
Are you going, Jen?
Yeah, I'm still going.
This has been like a big telethon, you haven't stopped?
I have never stopped.
Wow! Fuck yeah! All right.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. We had a goal of 1,500 members. We just reached it. What do you say to the audience? Who helped us reach that?
Right fucking on! Yes, right on! This is a great program, and it only goes on by supporting people, or you supporting people like Jordan and Jenn, and Jamal, right? And I'm sure there's a few other people in the group, right?
Colin's here, yeah.
Yeah, right on. So we have to support independent media. If you listen to any of my rant that I had about an hour ago, which was really ranty, I think it was kind of funny, and I still remember. I don't know, was it funny or annoying?
Great.
Well, it wasn't even funny or annoying. It was that's what goes on in my head about wanting to make the world a better place. But all that being said, yes, independent media like Status Quo is what we need in versions of that in order to help un-Jedi mindfuck the Jedi mindfucking that the mainstream media is doing. So that's really what's going on. I'm not gonna just, that's what's going on. The mainstream media is in cahoots with the government, is in cahoots with corporations to keep Jedi mindfucking the entire populace of this planet.
I think you even mentioned you should put that on a shirt. Jedi mind effing.
Jedi mind, yes, yeah, we can do that. Let's make a business. We'll get it, yeah. We'll share the royalties, Look, until the vision that I have that we don't need to use money. I mean, who gave something off a tree with some numbers and ink on it, so much power and authority? I say that everybody came here with this is really hippie snowflakey. So if you want to hear what my vision is, I think it's pretty cool. But why don't we just, like, a good sincere, everybody came here with their own unique gift to be fully self-expressed, not only to feel fully self-expressed, but as a contribution to everyone and everything you come across to. So why can't we use that as a bartering or as a goods and services tool? You know, and again, that changes the whole educational system because, you know, we truncate, as soon as there's money that's allocated out, what do? They truncate the arts, they truncate trade schools, home ec, all those things that are the divine feminine aspect of ourselves. So when you put all of those together, there's a whole other opportunity for us to cohabitate together. And Bernie Sanders, he gets that. He got that. It's like you're John Lennon, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Like there's definitely people who walked here that saw that. And I think not to say, look, I'm not like, again, some Bernie psycho fan, but like his vision of what those same kind of cats had is what's possible because everybody else is in bed with the media, you know?
Yeah, of course. You know what? I have another announcement to make.
Uh-oh.
Get excited.
Right,
We're now at 1,507 members. Keep it coming, guys. This is wild. This is so crazy that everyone is joining, just like a snowball rolling down a hill, collecting more and more members. You guys get amazing stuff. statuscoup.com/join. All right, I gotta grab. I'm not gonna go, but I gotta grab people. Gotta interview. Do you want to do an interview?
Go ahead. I'm gonna go.
Ah, it's easy. Okay.
Well.
It's okay. Go behind.
Feel better, buddy.
It's okay. You can go behind me. I promise I won't grab you. It's okay. People are a little bit shy to come on here. That's all right. I'm going to try to grab some other people, though. Come on. I'll be so easy. I'm really nice. Okay. All right. No worries. He didn't want to come on. Let me actually run over and grab some people. Hi, we're live. Can I interview any of you? I want to hop on. Okay. Hi, my name is Jenn. Oops, we're right here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. My name's Jenn. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Lalo Montoya.
How are you feeling about tonight after Bernie Sanders win here in Nevada?
It's really incredible to see so many people. It's such an inclusive movement. It's great to see everyone from all walks of life, all kinds of identities. I think he's building a multiracial, multi-generational movement for change in this country.
Of course. Now, I don't know if you've had any time to watch I've been asking people this question, but the corporate media has been completely melting down after Bernie's win tonight. Chris Matthews said he'd rather have 4 more years of Trump than Bernie. What do you think about this total meltdown of the establishment?
I don't see it. I think I see this as a huge opportunity for us to really rebuild our democracy into what it should be. I think as myself, I have DACA. I'm not a voter. But what I was able to see over these last couple of months as we prepared for this caucus was that no matter who you are, Bernie Sanders has embraced our values, a movement for justice and dignity for all. And I think it's really inclusive. And I think that's what's great about all of this tonight.
Now, Bernie Sanders had an extraordinary amount of Latino support. Why do you think that is? Specifically about Bernie, his policies.
Yeah, I think his bold and progressive stance on a moratorium on deportations is really important. I think that's what really we, as a Latino, as someone who works in the community and gets to talk about these issues to our community, yes, immigration is a big part of what we think about politics, but we also know that a social security number is not enough. We need great schools. We need jobs with dignity, and he embraces all of that. And that's why I think Latinos are a very important moment to be able to shape what the future of this country looks like.
Wonderful. Any last thoughts you want to leave us with?
Just really excited to see that more people are coming out to vote, and no matter who you are, that you are that we are all a part of building a better democracy.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. That was great. Good stuff. Okay, guys, we are at 1,509 members. That's 1,509 members. Let's get that up. Let's get it up. Because the more members we have, the more we can do. We have reached our goal for getting Jordan to go to South Carolina. Oh, hi again. I remember you.
Hello.
Tell the audience your name again.
Hello, my name is Sean Navarro. I'm the co-chair of Las Vegas Democratic Socialists America. We out here, also volunteer. Very excited. Hello.
Good. So how are you feeling about tonight specifically, this win?
Oh my God, amazing. I can't even believe it. I thought he would win, but I thought it'd be a little bit closer. To see him almost get 50% warms your heart. It's amazing. Everyone here is like family. We're kind of like the Olive Garden at Bernie 2020. When you're here, you're family. This is so great. If you can see the vibe here, everyone's ecstatic. We're all here celebrating. It's such a beautiful night. It's so amazing. When I started here, DSA, we had like 6 people in the coffee shop. To see people like Amy Valea, who've been out here for years, and to see the fruit of that, the work come to really do something big like this tonight is amazing.
Yeah, I can definitely agree that the energy here is palpable. People are so excited. I keep saying the beer is definitely flowing for a lot of people.
Flowing, yes, 100%.
Okay, so I don't want to dampen the mood at all, but corporate media has been freaking out. I just got a text that Chris Matthews compared Bernie Sanders winning in Nevada to the German invasion of France.
Can you believe it? Chris Matthews, hand me a hardball, coward. Sean DeVar for Las Vegas DSA, come find me. Yes, it's amazing. Oh, is the media melting it down and not handling it well? Because they know it's up. Their number's up. For years, they've just been feeding us garbage. We have not been able to trust them. The mainstream media is bought by big corporate interests. Just like Bernie says, you have 1 million pharmaceutical ads. They know where their bread is butter, and they can see that their influence is waning. The people are here. The people are coming. They're getting organized through Bernie 2020, through DSA, through all these other great organizations that are organizing. That's a big secret. Let me let y'all a little secret here. Bernie 2020 is teaching people how to organize themselves, organizing communities that have been shut out of the political process. I do, again, Muslims for Bernie, one of the most wholesome things I've ever been involved with. And we're organizing communities. Shout out to the Iqbals, Dr. Iqbal, Mayor Iqbal, and their son Sean, and the other sons. So his name now, I'm so excited. But we're out here, yeah. We're organizing and we're taking back political power. People who have been shut out for years are now coming back into the process because of the hope and the change of Bernie 2020.
I can't remember if I had you do this the other night, but why is independent media so important? Why should people support independent media?
You should support independent media, especially like the Status Coup. Shout out again, my man Marcus Ely, because you guys are doing y'all are doing.
He's here.
He's here. I saw him. Yes, he's the homie. I love him so much. Y'all are doing real reporting. You're all doing the real work, and it's tough. It's not easy. Big nights like this, they're great. But in much quieter moments, you're out here reporting the facts, and there's so much room, there's so much that needs to be put out there, and organizations like Status Coup are doing that. So that's why you support them. Smash that like button, give the donations, and let man have the camera working. Needs to get paid, pay him a living wage. That's what it's all about. I know my organizing at DSA is not easy. You certainly don't get paid for it. So for the people who are out here doing the work, for not a lot of money, they deserve to be here. We need to come together, solidarity.
Very good. Any last thoughts?
We're going to do it. I think it's going to win. We out again, to say again, I cannot stress this enough. We are out here, DSA, Bernie 2020, Las Vegas. Socialism is here, America. Get ready for it. We did it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on again. I really appreciate it. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Guys, we are now at 1,511 members. Can you believe it? It is absolutely phenomenal, absolutely incredible. You guys are joining. You're going to get great bonus content, great extra content. We have a lot of plans in the works, including a future podcast. But you also support real on-the-ground reporting. It's so important that we have your support. We love you. We appreciate you. statuscoup.com/join. Let me see if I can grab a few more people. I also have an update here that Elizabeth Warren is the only one who has not spoken tonight. Amy Klobuchar, Joseph Biden, Pete Buttigieg, and Bernie Sanders have all spoken, so Warren has not yet spoken. I don't want to speculate on what that means, but I have an idea of what that might mean. So maybe some big news coming later. I don't know. Again, I don't want to really speculate. Yeah, hi.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm Jenn. What's your name?
I'm Joe Sacco. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I see you have a big, you were a Bernie Precinct captain. Oh, very interesting. So how do you feel about tonight, how it went?
So I feel amazing. I was a national delegate for Bernie in 2016, and we all know how that turned out, but we're still standing. This is a huge win for Nevada, a huge win for our country. Tonight I operated as a precinct captain for Bernie. These caucuses are a little confusing, a little hectic. but we got our people out. We had a strong showing, and Bernie knocked it out at our precinct. Really, really proud of our friends and neighbors for showing up.
So everything went smoothly at your precinct, no shenanigans, no weirdness?
No, there was no shenanigans or weirdness. I will mention one thing that happened, although I'm not shaming or blaming anyone. For some reason, we did not have the delegate and alternate election forms. So what I did as precinct captain for Bernie is I conducted a democratic election. We elected our 9 delegates and 4 alternates, and ultimately I had to be tasked with going to the Clark County headquarters for the Democratic Party and physically fill out the forms for all 13 of our delegates. Now, tomorrow I have my work cut out for me. I'll be going to my neighbors' doors, knocking their doors, and physically hand delivering their receipts so that when they go to the Clark County Convention, that they will be counted as delegates. Because that's the most important thing about this election cycle, is that we have 50% plus 1 at the convention, and we make sure that there's no funny business at the national.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's really interesting to hear your perspective as a precinct captain, and good news for a lot of people, I think, to hear that it went well, all things considered.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could leave your audience with one message, that is that regardless of whether you feel that the system is rigged or that there's a lot of corruption, yes, we know that there's a lot of that going on. However, we are the system, we are the country that we are here to represent. And I implore you, if you're in one of the states coming up, California, Texas, South Carolina, Super Tuesday, we've got to show up in droves. If you're for Bernie Sanders, if you believe in our revolution, we've got to have you there to be the eyes, the ears, the voices, and the votes for our movement. Yeah.
Very, very good. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for being here. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you.
Guys, we are at 1,512 members now. Let me ask Jamal one question. How are you?
Pete Buttigieg on this board. You see Steyer at 16, Warren at 10, Caucus at 3. Buttigieg is down to 2.
All right, guys. So it looks like we are good. We've heard so many incredible people tonight. So many amazing members have joined us. Statuscoup.com/join. Also, smash that like button if you haven't already. Also, share the stream on your social media feed so more people see it. So I don't know if Jordan wants me to report his hunch, but this was my hunch as well. Jordan's hunch is that Warren's campaign is waiting to see more precincts reporting to come in to see whether she moves up to 3rd, and if she doesn't, she might drop out. So that was basically exactly my thoughts, which would be huge and alarming for a lot of her supporters, but definitely not unwarranted when you look at how she's polling now and how she's actually performing, because it really comes down to the actual performance, and she has not done well at all. So keep smashing that like button, keep sharing this, keep joining. I'm going to try to grab some people.
Interesting to see how Bernie Sanders does with that sector of the population, given the fact that he is really in the hunt for the nomination, as it looks like he is. He's going to need to continue.
Hi there, I'm Jenn. What's your name?
My name is Lucas Bouget.
Hi, Lucas. So how are you feeling tonight about Bernie's win?
I'm so proud to be a part of this movement. I've been involved since 2016, early 2015 actually, so this is a real big moment for us here in Nevada.
What kind of, so you're local, you caucus today. How did it go in your caucus site?
So I was a precinct captain. Our caucus site had numerous precincts, obviously, in the same room. Bernie, by and large, grew that room to far more people than other candidates. However, my specific precinct was pretty split. I have a precinct that is mostly middle-aged to senior citizens. So a lot of them early voted, and based on that, we became viable based on the early votes alone. We did come in last in my precinct, so Steyer and Biden both tied for first place.
Very interesting.
We did the card draw, and then Biden ended up getting the last delegate. I was elected to delegate to represent us in the county, then hopefully the state, and then onto the national convention.
Very interesting. So I want to read something to you. I don't want to dampen the mood, but I've been asking people this question. The corporate media is freaking out. MSNBC is having a complete meltdown. Chris Matthews just compared Bernie Sanders winning in Nevada to the German invasion of France.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
He compared Bernie Sanders winning to the German invasion in France.
Okay.
And he also said that 4 more years of Trump would be better than a Bernie Sanders presidency.
Who said this?
Chris Matthews, hardball.
Well, of course he did. Unfortunately, we're getting smears from right, left, and in between. We are getting smears from so many different campaigns, but what my goal is here, regardless of all of the vitriol that has been spewed towards Bernie supporters, all of that rhetoric that we're some sort of bros, that we're violent, that we're these angry people, no, we are here to show that we are a coalition of racially diverse people who are fighting for the 99%, the people who are disenfranchised, and regardless of what any of them have to say, what is showing across this country is that no matter what they throw at us in the corporate media or from the establishment, we are still rising above, not only personally, but also in the national view of the campaign as a whole. We are growing state by state, and I think honestly the corporate media is helping us with that, because people are finally opening their eyes to see that the establishment and billionaires are absolutely influencing elections in ways that they shouldn't be able to. And we are now going to be a movement that's going to completely remove that from the reality of our elections. And I truly hope that if we can win this nomination, we will beat Donald Trump. And I don't think there's a tougher candidate to get it done.
I think a lot of people here would certainly agree with you on that. Any last thoughts you want to leave us with about going forward, Bernie's chances, how you feel about that, how you feel about the movement in general?
Again, I'm very proud of this movement. We're all very emotional about why we're involved. It's personal to a lot of us for so many different reasons. And regardless, all I have to say leading forward is if you are on any sort of fence on who you're going for, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to your family, see the issues that are really affecting your communities, and vote from your heart. Don't vote from what you're seeing in the corporate media. Don't vote from what you're hearing from Republican GOP talking points. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to that guy asking for $1 down in front of the 7-Eleven. Talk to everybody and see really what does America need. And I think that the majority of people will find is that that is Bernie Sanders.
All right. Thank you so much. That was really great. Wonderful stuff. You too. Okay, guys, I actually want to try to find Colin, and then I want to call Jordan. Okay, I'm going to steal Colin for a second. I've got to put on gloves before my hands fall off, so can you talk to the audience about memberships and all that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know where we left off on memberships, but I assume we're doing stellar. Oh, wow. You guys just blew it out of the water with 12 over. Well, now they have to eat healthy, so if they send pictures of McDonald's, you guys got to call them out on it. That's super exciting. No, I've been, I went and talked to some people while getting people for Jenn, which for the record is hard for me because I sit behind a computer all day editing, so it's hard for me to talk to people. But it's really great to see just how excited people are, and like I said before, people are still just talking about the excitement for Bernie and things like with Nina and stuff like that. So it's been really cool just seeing all the positive stuff, and also seeing your guys' reaction with Status Coup. It makes me try and I'm hoping to try and set aside time once again to do more member videos like I used to. if majority of you guys probably don't know that because it's been a while since I did a member video, but I definitely want to start doing that again because you guys are really being awesome now. But yeah, I don't know what so we're at 1512. That's insane. Fingerless gloves, interesting. Oh, I guess you gotta use your phone, yeah. But I obviously, as I'm not watching the stream, I saw you interviewed some of the people in charge of the precincts or something like that.
Yeah, there was a precinct captain who was just on, and he was explaining it all went pretty well, which was surprising.
Yeah, no, because I was worried about the shenanigans, and especially with the stuff with the throwing away of ballots, and then also that the results well, I guess the results technically could not be final, but the fact that they called it is a huge testament of that. And Bernie with 11% now is still doubling Biden. That's insane. And Klobuchar is barely showing up. I had to literally expand the little windows to scroll down just to see where she was at. So that was pretty great. So I'm super excited after tonight. Like, the first two was great that Bernie won. Obviously, he won Iowa. But, like, it's great. Like, this is the first time where it feels like, for me at least, like, oh, he's probably going to do this now. I feel like going forward from this, we're literally listening to CNN, and CNN is talking about, like, yeah, Bernie's just, this is going to be, they're talking about how it's going to be genuinely hard for other candidates to take over him now. And I saw a thread on New York Times where they're doing live updates where they're talking about, since no candidate, like they were saying, like, hey, a candidate needs to drop out, and if they don't, Bernie's just going to beat them all, because and stuff like that. So it's been great.
Absolutely. I think we should call Jordan, get his thoughts. We're going to wrap up soon because our battery's not going to last for like too much longer.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's still going.
1 second. Let's call Jordan, get his take on tonight.
Whoop.
1 second, audience. You there?
Status Coup headquarters.
Status Coup headquarters. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm eating avocado sushi in bed and enjoying this members tsunami.
I don't actually know if the audience can hear you. Do you think they can, Colin?
I'll check.
Oh, they can. Okay, Jamal says yes.
Oh.
Well, we can't hear you, but keep talking, Jordan.
I was saying I'm eating sushi in bed and enjoying the membership tsunami.
Are you already starting to feel less sick now?
Yes, we are. I am feeling a lot better today, especially as our membership grows like the River Jordan. I love it.
Can't hear a word. But Jordan, so tell us your thoughts. Oh, what happened? Well, all right. I guess we lost Jordan. I don't know what happened. My phone's gonna die. The camera's gonna die. It's all gonna be okay though, because we are so pumped up. We are here. The energy is palpable. People are very, very excited about this outcome. And it was interesting, reporting on the caucus earlier. That whole process was fascinating, honestly. It went well at the precinct where we were, and I've heard here from people tonight that it went pretty well in their precinct. So I think all things considered, it went okay, especially, for Bernie Sanders supporters that he came out ahead. So there's still time. You can join at any time, statuscoup.com/join. Please become a member. It is totally worth it. You get tons of bonus content. Any last thoughts you want to leave the audience with, Colin?
Just what she said, become a member, because you guys literally just made it so from the previous primary to this caucus, all of a sudden we went from not being able to go to South Carolina to going to it. So imagine if we keep up with this growth, you can sort of have a copy-paste of that throughout for a lot of this primary, especially going into Super Tuesday and stuff. So if you want to actually see what's going on, and if the other ones don't turn out as positive as this and stuff starts to happen, Status Coup is going to be the one there to like actually talk with people and see like, hey, what's the funny business going on here and stuff like that. So definitely it'll be great.
Absolutely. You can hear the chants of Bernie right behind us. So I think that's a note that's relevant to tonight to end off on. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you. You members are amazing. Love you, love you, love you. Good night. Bye-bye. Ooh, it's so chilly.